What's up? How's it going?
Josh Birnbaum, step on up. Get on the scale, son.
Good to see you. Good to be here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I know, long time no see. I know. I apologize about that.
I could go into heavy detail.
But
I could go into heavy detail.
we're here
I
now,
will.
and that's what's
I will go
important.
into heavy detail.
We're here now, and that's what is important. Karen, Rosie, Honey, Maggie, Kisser of Dogs, One-Eyed Flo, 77 MCL. Hope you're feeling well, Josh. I'm feeling it has been a treacherous 3 weeks. There's no doubt. None at all. And now grandma's out of the hospital. Surgery went good. She's home. She's fine. I hadn't told you this, but before we get into our main discussion, I believe I'll discuss this a little more on a podcast that I'm going to release here in the next day or so on this show. And it's me, Peyton, and my friend Ryan, who I've done podcasting with for a long time. And so we are releasing, we just did a podcast recently. It's fun. It's good. It's funny. I thought it was funny. And, yeah, we had a good time. So, yeah, we'll just play it from there. However, I do want to say, I do want to tell you this. And this happened, God, I can't even remember. It was before my grandma went into surgery, at least a week and a half ago, something like that. What Lynn GMB says, I don't believe it. What is it that you don't believe? God, who gets a head cold at the end of summer? It just drives me nuts. Goes from my son to me to my other son. It's just been, it sucks. All right. So just, yeah, sucks. Oh, okay. You don't believe it. All right. Yeah. Grandma's doing great. Everybody else is sick. All right. Did you remember your water? I actually did remember my water. Yes, I'm good. I'm rocking and rolling. So about a week and a half ago, it's, I don't know, it's 2 a.m. I just leave the studio. I'm walking into the house. All right. 2 a.m. I'm still awake because, sometimes I'm awake then, and even later sometimes I fall asleep easier or quicker. However, this was not that night. So check this out. I'm sitting there in my house. It's warm outside. My screen door, the house door is open. The screen door is closed. I'm sitting there in the floor or on the couch. I can't remember, with one of the dogs. All right. And I think it was Macho, or I can barely tell them apart, especially when it's a little dark out. And I'm just sitting there. No, I was on the floor, definitely on the floor. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear my car start. My car doesn't start unless I'm in it usually. There's no reason that my car should be starting at 2 a.m. by itself. I hear the car start. I see the lights turn on. I look out the door. It's somebody. My car starts pulling out of the driveway. And I jet as fast as I can. As fast as I can, which is, I'm not a fast human by any stretch of the imagination, but I can guarantee you I was moving. I start running towards my car. It's pulled out of the driveway, and as I'm within 3 feet and I'm about to open the door and beat the hell out of whoever's in the driver's seat, I fall flat on my face. Half on the grass, half on the pavement. Slid. I slid, dude. And I laid there and I watched my car drive away at 2 a.m. So then what I do is I roll over on my back, laying there in pain. I pull out my phone and I'm laying there on my back on the phone with the police going, hey, my car just got stolen right in front of my house, right in front of me. You know, and they're like, okay. We're going to send somebody out, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I'm like, oh my God. While this is going on, I tell you, Macho, not Otis. Otis was on the road to recovery, and he's doing fantastic. He starts kind of yelping about some pain. So I don't know what the hell is going on. So I'm trying to help Macho feel better while I wait for the police to call me back. I'm freaking out. I call Linda. I say, my car just got stolen. She thought I was making it up. I wasn't. And my car drove off without me. It sucked. It was a weird feeling. Now, I'll tell you this. What happened from there was an act of, I would say, divine intervention, maybe. I don't know. It'll lead us into our topic. My car's gone. I'm waiting for the police officer. He comes out. I file a report, all that stuff. About an hour goes by. This is the craziest thing. And people are going to say, how did they start your car? I have one of those push to start cars, and somebody may have left that key fob in the car, possibly. I don't know. It's under investigation. And somebody may or may not have left the door unlocked. That is also under investigation. All right. So I'm like, what's going on? Where's my friggin' car? I love my car. I need my car. It's a car. I need it. And I'm outside. I'm talking to the cop. The cop's like, hey, if we find your car, I say, if, He says, if we find your car, we'll call you. All right, simple enough. That seems like a reasonable thing for him to say, but it's not something that I wanted to hear. Just find it, please. Find it. He says, lucky for you, Mr. Diaz, you are the only Grand Theft Auto currently out in the city. I said, well, really? Currently, I'm the only one. Yes, sir. Oh, that's great news. And I said, you got a lot of car thieves out there? He says, well, this is kind of weird, Mr. Diaz, because all of our car thieves are in jail right now. So this is kind of strange. I said, oh, great. Awesome. I'm the only GTA in the city. That's good news. That's good news. I'm in the house. I'm waiting for the phone to ring. I walk outside to see my empty parking lot, my empty driveway. And then I start hearing I hear a siren. This is about an hour has gone by. I hear a siren. You know what I mean? And it's very distant, but it's so quiet outside. It's the middle of the night. And why would somebody laugh regarding Josh? People laugh. I don't know. Did somebody laugh? How do you know somebody laughed? Was it one of the reaction things? Well, it's a dummy move to do. Whoever did it. Okay. And whoever left the keys in there, whoever did that, I'm not joshing you at all. So I hear sirens. I tell Linda, I hear sirens. If my phone rings in the next 5 minutes, they found my car. Because it's super quiet out there, and I could hear for quite a ways away. Okay. I hear sirens. The sirens stop. Nothing. All of a sudden, my phone rings. They said, Mr. Diaz, yes, we found your vehicle. I said, that's fantastic. And he says, the events after that, I'll go into detail much more on the podcast. He says, or the lady telling me on the phone, I said, is there any damage? Is there any damage to my car? And she goes, I don't know. I'll call you back after, I said, can you just put me on hold and ask the officer, is there any damage to my car? And she goes, yeah, I'll put you on hold, right? My heart's racing. She gets back on there. She says, Mr. Diaz, there is no damage on your car. Your car has been found. The person was taken out at gunpoint, blah, blah, blah. We got your car back, Mr. Josh Diaz. And I said, thank you so much. That's amazing. And I can't believe it. I cannot believe I've never had a car stolen in my life. It was gone an hour and a half, and it was just a mile from the house, and it was fine. Fine. Completely fine. And wow, it was just the craziest thing. So after everything was really not going well, my car gets stolen on top of that, but I get it back in one piece within an hour and a half. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But it was, I don't know. It was just somebody who stole it and then they went to jail. Now they didn't take, They didn't take anything. Nothing was taken. Nothing at all. Which was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So anyway, that is something that I am very thankful for and grateful for. So anyway, that's a win where I'm from. Josh, you guys, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm not saying I'm not. Trust me, I'm not saying I'm not. I didn't feel lucky at the time when the car got stolen. I felt lucky getting it back, but after that, I didn't feel so lucky as you deal with the ramifications of a stolen car. And there are some ramifications from a stolen car, but whatever. It's okay. We're all good. We're good. Yeah, I left the keys in the car. Was Eric Estrada? Am I okay from the fall? I actually am. Yes. Looking back on it now with, 7-10 days between it. I felt very lucky after I got, and I still feel very lucky. I felt very lucky. True crime. If ICML was covering the Pacific Coast Highway, my car is flying down there with the sparks hitting and all that. Anyway, it sucked. But anyway, I got it back. Was it Don Wells? I don't think so. But anyway, I got it back. Whatever. From there, like I said, there's more to the story. You'll hear more about it another time. I know you guys appreciate it. Here's one part that I did want to tell you this. When they pulled the guy out at gunpoint, remember how I told you that I was 3 feet, maybe 3 feet from the car? I might have even been closer. I mean, it was on the curb and I was half on the grass, half on the sidewalk when I fell. I might have even been closer because as I was falling, I actually reached out for the handle. They arrested this man with a big old buck knife in his front pocket. And so this man was obviously up to no good. And I fell because I truly do believe this, that I would have been stabbed, or he would have attempted to stab me, because I wasn't going to greet this person. I wasn't going to greet this person with, ice cream and cupcakes. And it was going to be a hostile interaction. One of us would have gotten probably severely hurt, if not both of us. And I count my blessings. But yeah, that was just you got a loser with he has nothing to lose, and I do have a lot to lose, in my opinion, a ton. But I know. Everybody was like, dude, the thing is too, I'm pretty steady. I don't really fall like that. Not saying that, I'm this I don't know. I fell flat on my face. Wow. A big old knife. Jeez. I didn't even once consider that as I ran out after them. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even consider that he could have been armed or who it was. I have no idea. But I do think because the car didn't just drive right off. It actually stopped for a second, like we're bracing for I think he was sure that I was going to get into the car and I fell. And I think he was just as stunned as I was that I fell. And so, but yeah, I do believe that he was like bracing for me to open that car door. And when it didn't happen, and I could, I had just eaten crap on the floor or on the pavement, he drove off. And that's when I rolled over on my back. I called the cops. Anyway. Wait, Josh, you were there when they found the car? No, they didn't. I was not there. They called me on the phone. I was there when it got stolen. Yeah, well, 77 MLC. I didn't have time to grab anything. I was running just for him. There was no actual thought. There was no thought about it. No, I didn't get injured. No. Nope. I think my wrist might have hurt a little bit that night, but other than that, no, we're good. It was just, I don't know. I don't know why I was tripped. Yeah, Kathy. I mean, I don't know. There's just a lot of things that are hard to explain. That being one of them. I saw a couple people, One-Eyed Flo gifting a membership, and then Randy, welcome to becoming a Nocturnal Lab Rat. I appreciate that very much. One-Eyed Flo and Don't Panic. What's up, Don't Panic? Good to see you. Anyway, I got my car back. So that was fun. Then I took Macho to the vet the next day. Actually, I didn't because I didn't have my car yet, but it's funny. A lot of people have been telling me, they're like, man, you've been going through a lot. And I don't even know. I don't think I feel like that. I certainly looking back on everything that's been going on, it does feel like a lot has been going on. But when you're kind of in the throes of everything, you just kind of, it's like a day by day thing. It's a here to here to here. And you put a little bit of road behind you and you're like, wow, that was crazy. Yesterday was a crazy day. Or, yesterday or the day before was the day before that. And so anyway, but looking back, yes, it does feel like a lot has been going on. And, so yeah. And my dogs are healthy now. We're sick. Well, I'm just getting over it. Peyton currently has it. He's crying like a little baby. Ronell got over it. And grandma one-upped everybody. And she said, watch this, guys. I'm going to get appendicitis. And she did. And she went in for surgery. And she's out. And she probably feels better than the lot of us. She is floating like a butterfly, folks. She is floating like a butterfly. I don't know. She I don't think she would say that, but she's doing very well. Terry B, here's to falling. My God in heaven, right? Thank you. Yeah. Yep. And once again, Randy, she's floating, dude. She is floating, dude. This is what she says to me right before, or she gets home that day, or the day that she comes home. I can't remember. I think it was Sunday. She comes home and she was like, dang it. And I said, what? She says, I ordered strawberry shortcake for dinner tonight. And I said, where? She says, at the hospital. I said, you You want to go back to the hospital for that? She's like, no. Anyway, that's a true story, dude. She was like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, what? She wanted this. She wanted the strawberry shortcake, dude. Unbelievable. She told me she watched an entire baseball game in Spanish because she couldn't figure out the SAP button. So she picked up Paquito Espanol apparently. And so anyway, that's When I Flow says, had my gallbladder out on Thursday. Rosie asked, did you make her some? Rosie, I've been sick as a dog. So no, but I did get her, I don't know, ice cream or something. I can't remember. Something like that. When I Flow, I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, that was crap. That was real crap, I'll tell you. But anyway, moving on. Every now and then I get, when something happens in like the, Josh, I have to say your grandmother, so yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. People have been asking me about this medium stuff that's going on, or psychic hair and bones found somewhere, someplace, turned into TBI. I think I'm oversimplifying it, but that's what people have been asking me. And I literally looked for about, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, something like that. And I saw a little bit and I read just a little bit about it. And, but a lot of times people really get sort of drug into, or I do things that don't interest me much, or things that I don't care about much, or things that I don't believe much, or whatever it is that I'm trying, or that I'm typically would just avoid if I could. So I'm going to address this the best that I can. And I want people to understand that these are my opinions and my opinions alone. I speak for nobody else. I'm also not going to be insulting to anybody. I'm going to tell you just how it is when it comes to how I think about this kind of stuff. People take psychics and mediums and the paranormal very, very, very seriously. Okay. Very seriously. It's a huge community, not just on YouTube, but just in the world itself. There is a large following. And I liken it to a religion, or, being, I don't know. It's just, that's what I think. That's what I think of it like, sort of. But I'm not saying that it's like a certain religion. I'm just saying it feels like a community, a religion. I'm not saying a cult or anything like that. Just a community of people that share ideas, share similar beliefs. Now you have psychics and you have mediums, and generally psychics, they tell you more about things and events and people, and I don't think that psychics speak to the dead as much as maybe a medium does. Mediums is a different type of psychic from what I understand. but their ability would be to communicate with the dead. Okay. That would be their ability. That's what it's from the way that I understand it. Okay. Now, I'm not a psychic or medium expert. First, I'm going to tell you that I have been offered my entire life, especially since I've been to YouTube, especially since I've been on YouTube, I have been offered many, many readings about my mother. A lot of them. It has been something that gets offered to me a lot. And I respectfully each time refuse. I have never once taken anybody up on the offer, not because I don't believe it, not because I don't believe it, not because I do believe it, not because it's not for me. That's just not something that I'm interested in. It's not something that I'm interested in. Because I'm just not. It's just not something that I wake up and go, I don't wake up and go, you know what, man, like that just doesn't drive me. Okay. It's not something that I dabble in. It's just not. That's all there is to it. Now, I'm going to tell you the problem with psychics and mediums. And then I'm going to tell you why I think. Now, I'm not going to criticize. I'm not going to criticize. But here's the problem. Just like every other profession, just like every other profession in the world that relies on stuff like that, psychic ability or whatever it is, there is an inordinate amount of frauds. There are so many frauds that it is hard to take any of it seriously. And a lot of the times you end up throwing out the baby with the bathwater. That's just a term. That's where the problem comes in. Just like conspiracy theorists, I have a problem. I used to love conspiracies. Now I'm telling you, I'm not likening mediums and psychics to conspiracy theorists. What I am saying is the problem with conspiracy theories is everything's a conspiracy. And when everything becomes a conspiracy, it dilutes actual conspiracies because they are, they're just, everything's whatever. It's fake, that's how you feel. And, that is the problem. And here's the next point. I don't know who these people are that are looking for Summer. They claim to be either psychics or mediums. I'm not really sure what they claim to be. Do I believe that these people are liars? No. Do I believe them? No. Do I believe this specifically, what they're talking about? No. Do I think that they believe it? Probably. And for that, I have no explanation, nor do I care. It's not my thing. I just don't think that what we're looking at here specifically has anything to do with whatever. I don't believe it. Not this. I do not believe these people. Now, like I said, I don't know their intentions. They could be the nicest people in the world doing God's work or whoever's work. I don't know. I don't believe this at all. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why or anything like that. I don't believe what they're talking about here. Excuse me. I don't believe that. I mean, I just don't think, yeah, you know what? I just don't think that that's real. Now, somebody told me, yeah, I don't care if you share your group. Somebody told me that they took whatever they had found to TBI. To TBI. And TBI told them, good job, keep going, or something like that. Now, can somebody keep me honest there? Because I'm not 100% on that. Like, is that what we're talking about? Like, I heard somebody say that. I heard that they claim that. I don't know, but can somebody let me know if that was true? And I'm pretty sure that TBI had made it very clear that they do not want any psychic or medium help. Whatever your opinion is, they do take tips from psychics. I've heard that they didn't. I've heard that they didn't want any from psychic. That's just what I heard. And yeah, they do. Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. But there was one group, and I don't know which agency it is, but they said that they do not. That they didn't want tips like that or something. That's in Hawkins. Okay, Hawkins County. Then okay, so I just remember it was somebody. I can't remember who. Yes, that's true. They found the blue tarp with the herringbones in the tan and brown boat, trying to organize community cleanup at the ravine beside the cemetery. What was it that my question is, what was it? TBI told them that they were doing a good job and to keep going. Now that's what I heard. And that to me sounds like bug off. That to me sounds like, pound sand or whatever. So, I don't believe. I think that there are a lot of well-intentioned people out there, but I also believe that tragedy can breed desperation, which brings on people who prey on those situations. And that comes from every single angle and community, and I'm not talking just specifically about psychics or mediums or so-called psychics and so-called mediums. I'm talking about everybody. And that's really the absolute truth, is that you can pay priests or whatever to keep your relatives out of hell, you would, you have to, it just doesn't make any sense. She said, TBI was there in 10 minutes. The searchers are her YouTube viewers that live locally. They don't want to be identified. Yeah. So, Gay Girl, my question to you is: what do you believe that they found something substantial? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't really know where you stand. I know you know a lot about the story. I don't know that much, and I'm not here to, like I said, bash mediums or psychics or whatever. It's not something that I participate in. I think dowsing rods are hilarious. I don't, I think carrot cards are kind of weird a little bit. That's just my thought. Like I said, I could be wrong. Carrot cards, I don't know. Hi, Josh. Do you believe it? I do not believe it. I didn't believe in Y2K. I didn't believe in the Mayan calendar. I don't believe in this. But what I do believe in is, I'm not calling whoever this person is a fake, a phony, a fraud. I think that there are people that truly do think that they, look, psychology has been studying this stuff for a long time. And a lot of people think of these kinds of beliefs, religion, psychic ability. When people want answers, they're desperate. When people die, when there's tragedy, famine, people want answers. They want answers, and they'll look for any reason. They'll look towards anything. And there are so many fakes is the problem. Yeah, finding bones and hair in a wooded area is not uncommon, especially when there's like wildlife out there. But yeah, you can't even tell. It's the weirdest thing. Celeste says some people just do this for attention, to look important, like they know something. Yeah, I think so. Houdini offered millions, I believe, just someone who could prove to him that there was an afterlife of spirits that you could communicate with. Didn't Houdini die from getting punched in the stomach? Like, wasn't he one of those? He was just like, wasn't Houdini like, anybody could punch me in the stomach? And then he got punched in the stomach and died from it or something. Is that true? I heard something like that. Something like that. I don't know. I by the way, I do feel bad for, there are people that are in those fields. His appendix burst from getting punched in the stomach. Well, maybe he should have, dang, that's crazy. That is so weird, huh? He had appendicitis, went on stage anyway, and took the punch. Not good. That's good. Do I know for certain if, like if you were to ask me, Josh, do you believe in ghosts? I go, I don't know. Josh, do you believe in Bigfoot? I don't know. Do you believe psychics and mediums are real? I don't know. I don't. To be honest with you, my gut instinct would be like, no, I don't feel like that's something that I would look to. I think that there are very few, if there are real ones. I think that like most things, the group itself really kind of puts a damper on it. I mean, and this goes back, psychic, medium, palm reading scams have been going back since time immemorial. It's just been going on and going on and going on for a very long time. It's not anything new. When gypsies would travel around and kind of do that kind of stuff. I don't know if you guys had ever known this. We used to be told that when gypsies would travel around and they would scam people for like, I don't know. I don't know why they were. I know why they were doing it. I'm not exactly sure how they did it, but people would say like, "Hey, I got," and this is, I guess, considered a derogatory term now. I don't know, but they would say things like, "I got gypped," meaning you got bamboozled, because that's what the gypsies were known for. They were very well known for scamming people. So they would go, "Hey, I got gypped." And that was just a common name. So if you've ever heard somebody say that guy gypped me, it's because of the term gypsy. And so there you go. That's the reputation that they carry. And they would go around and they would do the card readings, palm readings, psychic readings. That's what gypsies were really into. So the gypsies themselves really gave a bad name to the paranormal community. And I'd always known, it's like, well, you got to think about that. Taking down the video she posted. Not in it for the money. Yeah, I don't know. So, I don't know. I do know that real gypsies say it's akin to using the N-word. Yeah. Well, it's not, but I'm sure that they feel that way. I didn't know that gypsies were enslaved for 400 years. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's not the same. Whenever somebody says like, "Oh, that's akin to saying the N-word," it's just it never is. I think Chris Cuomo one time said, when somebody called him Fredo, or like the loser brother, the Italian loser brother from The Godfather, he said that's like calling an Italian person the N-word. It's not, but it's derogatory, I guess. I don't know any gypsies. I would love to meet one. Frodo, that's right, Bridget. Frodo. What did I say, Fredo? I think I said Frodo. No, you can call somebody a gypsy, but I think you're saying if I got gypped, right? That's the problem, I think. But Romani, I don't know what that is. What's that? They're called. That's what. Freda, my older brother, I love you, but don't take sides. Yeah. That's the one. I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. A researcher never put out. Okay, so okay, and I understand that. I get it, because there was a lot of negative connotation around gypsies or Romani. I don't know what the hell that is. I got to look that up now. What is that? Is that the different types, I guess? Oh yeah, I knew what that is. It, Yeah. Okay. So it was like indigenous folks, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. But anyway. Right. Yeah. The ones that from like India that migrated west. But there are different. That's not even who I'm talking about. I'm talking about like it was more the Irish type. Just saying. It's pronounced Romney. Yeah, I learned something new too. And I'm psychic now. I don't believe that you are, and I don't think that you get psychic powers later in life or anything like that. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like Irish travelers. There you go. Romney Cal Gypsy. Yeah. All right. What happened? What happened with what did I miss? Oh, congratulations, Confluence. That's awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. Congratulations. That's really great news. So anyway, that's where this bad reputation really started at. And it to this day continues. Now, I don't know much about the ROM. What is it? ROM. Is the term traveler okay? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I would think so. If you're a traveler, you can travel. I've said it and heard it was a no-no. Well, you know what? Like, how are you supposed to know? I don't know. I'm not in that community. I don't know nothing about it. So if you're asking me, no. Pam says I'm a psycho. Does that count? Yeah, I think it does. It's so frustrating that I am honest and I know I would never lie. Yet people make fun of psychics and mediums. Yes, that's another thing. And I do kind of feel bad. I feel bad for people, especially like, there are people that practice this that are, I guess you would call them, the gypsy. Oh yeah. The Gypsy King was Tyson Fury. I don't know. Wait, I'm sensing something. You're right. You want to know that? So I have had somebody put a curse on me before. And I know what you're thinking. So, it was when I was heavy into the West Memphis 3, and there was some, I talked about some ritualistic stuff, the occult a little bit. I talked about that stuff a little bit. And I'm going to tell you that somebody wished terrible foot pain upon me in a comment. They said, you will be stricken with unbearable foot pain. And I'm like, that's messed up. Like, why would you put that on me, dude? Because I didn't know. It's like, dude, come on. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Why are you cursing my name? And sure enough, 3 years later, I stubbed my toe twice in the same month. And damn, So I got a little nervous. Just saying. It was a long curse. It took a long time to develop, but I think it did because I did stub my toe. And I had horrible foot pain in my future. I stubbed my toe twice in the same month, which is so, that kind of proves something. That's like, hey, Josh, one day, for some reason, you're going to have explosive diarrhea. Well, I'm guessing at some point in my life, that's going to happen. All right. I don't know why I use that example. It's just, it happens. And yeah, so they're like, hey, I'm cursing you with amoebic dysentery. And I'm like, dude, like I had a touch today. Is that the curse? Is that the curse? Like, stomach hurts. Is that the curse? So anyway, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. Linda says I have a standing date with diarrhea every Tuesday at 9 a.m. That's not true. That's not true. She's making stuff up. She's the one that she's projecting. She's projecting. So Kyle says we all want summer found, but you can't contaminate any possible evidence. They're digging in. They're not. It's not the crime scene. I'm sorry. Josh, just tote some Pepto-Bismol with you. I will. Not amoebic. Still be in the pot. There is still good versus evil. One must choose goodness and light versus darkness. I like to walk around the house barefoot and arms. Okay, well, there you go. The Bible talks on generational curses. Look, I've been stubbing toes for days. They were at Fred's house searching. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the stuff. I'm sorry. It's just not. I don't believe it. I don't want to mock anybody. I don't want to make fun of everybody, but come on. Now, that being said, I do want to say that I'm a big energy guy. I feel that there are energies in this world that, you positive energy to me is a real thing. Positive reinforcement, positive energy. I'm into that. Like that's a thing that I'm, biorhythms and stuff. I'm really into that. I know that when the positive thinking, I'm so in, like, that's a thing for me. I remember talking to he was a scientist and a doctor. He was brilliant. And I was dumb when I was talking to them, but I did. And I kind of did feel that way, but he was explaining to me, like, whenever you get like upset, mad or something like that, and you raise your voice and you don't control your voice, like it gets out the range of your voice. Like if you get so mad that you can't help but yell, or you kind of, make the teapot go, there's like this physiological change in your body, and it shifts. You know what I'm saying? Like it messes you up for a couple of days. Now you don't feel terrible like a day or 2 days later, but your body, like it actually takes an intense toll on your body to get to that point, and to realign, to get everything back in to where it's supposed to be, takes time to align everything. Your chakras are messed up, and I know that because I've had that happen. I've felt that. And so when you don't, like, or something bad happens to you or whatever, that's how you feel. And those are those biorhythms that we're talking about. being centered, being, it goes out the window, and you're vulnerable after that, meaning you've kind of cracked your piece for the day, or whatever you want to call it. It's just not something that you want to go around doing, being mad all the time and freaking out, and kind of, there are people that kind of get caught up in that perpetual state of mad, so they never actually realign themselves, and they just end up being a shitty person because their biorhythms are all messed up. I think we all know people like that, and I certainly do and have. I mean, there are people out there that wake up just wanting to fight with somebody. There are people that wake up just wanting to be a pain in your ass that day for no good reason other than they're miserable, so they want to make you miserable, and they can't figure out how to get one day of peace, one solitary hour, 1 millisecond of just serenity. And so when those kind of things happen, you have to make sure to avoid that. Energy is a real thing. It's a real thing, and you have to be able to kind of navigate your way through that stuff. So it's just it's the strangest thing. So like I said, I don't know anything more than what my brain allows me to, which is very limited. And I don't do well with, anger and negativity. I don't get angry very often. It takes some time for me to even logistically give one iota of energy towards something. I'm not an angry person, and that's not necessarily just a choice. It's not something I fight against. I'm just not an angry person. Let's see. Question. If this disalignment happens to a yelling or easily angered person is altered as a result of their outbursts, what happens to people on the receiving end of such a person? Well, that's a fantastic question. They're typically abused and battered and broken. Just the same way that person is broken, they break other people down worse. That's where that comes from. That, like I was just saying, that perpetual state of anger. That's why people end up lonely as well, because people don't want to be around angry people. I certainly don't. Like, you just go, you want to go around and no, that guy's always crazy. He's angry. But yes, absolutely. You can absolutely take all that frustration out on people and transfer it to another person. It happens all the time. You can even do it to animals. When a dog looks at you, makes eye contact with you, do you think that they're just looking at you, like staring through your face? No, they're reading you. They are picking up your energy, and they get it from your voice. They get it from the way you walk. They get it from the way you talk. They get it from the way you reach towards them or call them or talk to them gently. How you do? Or they look at you. That's what they're looking at you for. Not because anything else. They want to know what you're feeling. And that, if you have negative energy around a dog, they do not like that. They don't like it. And I don't blame them. Let's see. Some people argue with the stop sign. I agree with that. Totally. My boyfriend, 18 years, is the same way. I call him my 6-foot bottle of Valium until he gets mad. And it takes a lot to really make him that mad. Yeah, it's one of those things where, and as somebody that knows that if they get angry, loud and stuff, like I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, if I'm angry at that point, I would think if I'm showing outward anger, if I'm showing that outward anger, then what's happening is I'm probably coming off, I'm not a small person. I can have a booming voice when I want to. And I'm guessing it can be very demonstrative and intimidating to people when if I get like that mad, which, like I said, I can't remember the last time that's happened. I don't get in fights with people. I don't really like to, I don't want to scream with anybody, anything like that. And I'm very cognizant of the fact that I don't like having to walk on eggshells around people. So I don't want people to feel like they have to walk on eggshells around me. I just don't want that. And I don't want people to be uncomfortable around me. I don't want people to fear like I'm going to snap if they say something that I don't necessarily agree with or whatever it is. That's just me. I don't like doing that. I don't want people to feel that way. So, like I've said before to my kids, if I'm quiet, if I'm having a bad day, it's not because I'm mad. It's just because I don't want to give off those vibes. I just want to just kind of decompress about something. It doesn't happen. Like I said, that doesn't happen often, excuse me. But I'm not, it's just not something that I'm into. Not something I'm into. Flipper says, I've always felt very comfortable with you. You're my very first chat room. Thank you, Flipper. I appreciate that. I do. That's just how I think. And it's something that I try to be very aware of. But also, I have children that will have no problem at the drop of a dime going, you're being like a crazy person. Okay, well, makes sense. God, you're being crazy. Like, you're probably right. The truth is, my depression of losing my mom 2 years ago has drained my patient and loving husband so terribly that I take full responsibility, and that now I need to be lifting him and our energies. Yeah, I completely, I hear what you're saying. And, I remember when my mother was killed and, my grandmother was, when we went to live with her, she was not a happy person. It was a huge struggle, man, like for her to have any kind of peace and happiness. And then she was so overprotective of me and my sister because of what had happened with my mother. And it was just a lot of things that I didn't understand growing up. And now when I think about it and I go, well, of course she was like that. Of course. Who wouldn't be, who wouldn't be like that? So I totally get it. Sometimes you just have to be like for the people that you love, as long as, abusing each other is never going to be a good thing, but people are allowed to have bad days. People are allowed to be out of it. People are allowed to this or that. People are allowed to have bad days. Okay. People that you love can have a bad day. They can have a bad week and they can have a bad month. That doesn't mean that we stop loving them. People go through things all the time that you need to be able to support people with. You have to. And if you don't, because for some reason, you can't put up with it. Well, it sucks. It's tough. And, that's just really I don't know how the hell we ended up here, but we ended up here. Some people you just need to love from far away. Look, I understand there are people that don't even talk to their mothers because their mothers, as an adult, treat them horribly. They say mean things to them. They're critical of their spouses. They're critical of the way they raise their family. And some people say, the hell with it. I'm not going to deal with this. And I think that sometimes that can be extremely necessary. If you're not going to participate in my life in a positive way, and then maybe you just don't need to participate in my life. Participate in somebody else's life. And that, again, is when you get into that perpetual state of anger. It's like this vortex. And one day you wake up, you're like 45, 50 years old, and you're alone. And the only person you have to argue with is yourself in the mirror. And by then, it's too late. That's what anger gets you. That's what anger gets you. Anger gets you jail, prison, whatever. But are you alone, Matt? No, of course you're not. Of course you're not. And not everybody that's alone is because of that. There are people that for unfortunate reasons or just choose to be alone. But what do I know? You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's see. Josh Rockshire, good person. I was abused as a child essay and adulthood DV essay. And I have to watch to not let my PTSD affect my kids and loved ones. That's just a tough thing. And suffering in silence is something that mothers have been doing for a long time. It wasn't that long ago that women couldn't even vote and were thought of as second-class citizens. And, that has changed over the years, but like I said, the 40s, 50s, 60s, probably into I would say the 90s. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and women just kind of have to grin and bear it, or at least they had to. And I've always found that kind of sad, to be honest with you. Moms weren't allowed to have breakdowns, postpartum or whatever. And they did a lot of suffering in silence. And so, Heavenly, I know what you mean. You kind of, you have to kind of push that to the side, but which is terrible because you want to be able to deal with it. But at the same time, it's the same thing. Like, I never tell my kids, I go, hey, you have literally you have a great childhood. You're safe, you're comfortable. And now if they're having a bad day, they're like, I don't sit there and go, look, bro, let me tell you what happened when I was a kid. Let me tell you how the crap that I went through as a kid. And the reason I don't do that is because it wasn't normal. It was messed up. It wasn't something that anybody, let alone kids, should know. It's not a badge of honor. It's actually something that I want to keep it's something that I want to keep, away from my children. And because it's not normal. It's not something that I go, dude, I had it so much worse than you. Why do I need to tell them that? I don't. That's not their concern. They're my concern. Just like Heavenly, your concern is your child. Our problems transfer. They just do to our kids, and they transfer in such a way that you can pass anxiety and panic and stuff like that on to others. So that's the kind of where I was going with it. But it's not a competition. I'm not better than, oh, I'm so much tougher than you because of what I had to deal with, and whatever. That's just foolishness if people do that. I don't compare my tragedies to anybody's, because all of our tragedies are different. Each situation may have overlapping similarities, but none of them are, none of them are exactly the same. None of them. So, I had a friend tell me one time he lost his wife of cancer. He had a 4-year-old daughter and a 8-month-old son. And I said, that is like the worst. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And he goes, oh man, that's nothing compared to what you've been through. And I said, excuse me? I was confused. And I said, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What you just told me is something that I couldn't even imagine. What you just told me is something that I can't fathom, and I've never experienced it, and I don't want to experience it at all, ever. And I said, don't make light of your situation because of mine. It's just not we're not comparing. They're all different. They're all different. Every person in here or in that is listening to this and that will listen to this has been through some sort of tragedy in their life. And while some of them are more graphic, while some of them are particularly heinous, some of them are particularly sad, they're all individual events that stand alone. And to compare them to everybody else is just, it's asinine. Why would you ever want to do that? The fact of the matter is, if you're here, you're a survivor. If you're here, you're a fighter. If you're here, you are persevering. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to get old, to grow older. It beats the alternative. And there are ebb and flows in life, peaks and valleys. And it's really just like, have I had a rough 3 weeks? Yeah, I have, but I've also been living and been dealing with it. And we're going, and we just keep going, folks. We just keep going. And that's what we do. That's the only way to be. You've got to pull yourself up and dust yourself off, because tomorrow is on its way. Whether we're ready for it or not, that doesn't matter. The sun is gonna come up, and it's gonna go down, whether you're ready for it or not, whether your day is planned or not. And it's going to go at the same speed every day. Some days feel like they go faster than others. Some days feel like they go slower than others. They don't. They don't. But what you have to realize, and this is what I have been dealing with, is, as cliche as it sounds, one day at a time. That's just the way it has to be. One single day at a time. You can't. It's okay to prepare for the future, and it's okay to do things that set you up later in life. But if you overlook what's in front of you, you'll never get to where you want to go. It's something that I'm learning and working on too. That's how I know that we, are so imperfect, yet at the same time, life was never meant to be perfect. It wasn't created to be perfect. It was created to just exist and fight. And I think a lot of the reason is, that's why we all kind of tribalize, why we hang out, why we support each other. Life is tough, folks. Life is rough. It really is. And it kicks you it can kick you right in the teeth constantly, over and over and over and over again. And you can bitch about it, you can complain about it, or you can get through it. And usually you can't get through it nearly as fast if you're busy bitching and complaining about it. Nobody's coming to help you out and say everything's going to be all right. Let me be your life coach, or whatever the frig it is, whatever people do. Your life is up to you, the way that you want to live it, biorhythms and all. You know what I mean? Biorhythms. Whatever you want to call it. Gwen, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. No one is coming to save you, Katie. The only person that's going to save you is yourself. That's it. People can help you, but you are ultimately with you 100% of the time. That's why I say, you can go into a rehab, you can get clean, and you can leave, but I can't live your life for you. What you eat doesn't make me fat, and vice versa. Okay. Like, I remember a guy told me one time, he goes, yeah, man, I quit chewing. I started smoking. And I said, well, that's kind of like stopping to scratch in your head, and then you start scratching your ass. That's just not how it works, bro. Like, you're not doing yourself any favors. And it's left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Forever. Short legs in the house. By the way, if you are around tomorrow, tune in to Turtle Island and vote for your boy. I believe it's the finals. There's a call-in number. You don't have to pay anything. You just call, say, hey, I want to vote off whoever it is, not me. But check this out. There's a cash prize, folks. And I have made it clear that and I believe the cash prize is $300. That will be donated to St. Jude's Children's Hospital if we win. All right. So we'll be playing for a great cause. A great cause. So let's do, that would be awesome to be able to donate that. I'd get a belt, and we could donate the money to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, because it is one of my most cherished charities. Yeah, you can only vote people off. You can't, there's no, it's just, so it'll be awesome. It should be fun. And what we're going to do, I can't remember what time tomorrow, 6 maybe? I don't know. I'll have to look. But I'm excited for that as well. So I'm excited if we win, to be able to donate the money. Look at this right here. Look at this. Sugar says, my son was there for 5 years. Best hospital to be at. God bless him, huh? God bless your son, and God bless you, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital, one of the finest organizations around. Let's see. You're very nice, but Rose is an OG. Sorry, I don't know what that means. I will. I'll post the link. Yeah. Yeah. I'm an OG too, just maybe not to you. You know what I mean? I'm an OG. Chef Boyardee, dog. Oh yeah, St. Jude's. I mean, it's just really near and dear. Even Shriners as well. All those kind of hospitals are just something that I totally just love. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for everything, and we'll see you next time.
Don't say any F's and stuff. Josh Birnbaum, step on up. Get on the scale, son. Get off the scale.
I could go into heavy detail. I could go into heavy detail, and I will. And I will go into heavy detail.
Hey now.